She really doesn't understand how quotes actually work. The whole purpose of quoting someone is word for word, verbatim, not close enough, not sort of what they meant, and definitely not my personal remix. If it isn't exactly what was said, then it isn't a quote. Period. That's not complicated. That's just the definition. But here we are, living in the upside down. And since we're already knee-deep in this circus, let's address the thing stuck in my head after that board meeting. Tiffany's wig. Yeah, I said it. That wig had its own subplot. I don't know what kind of glue was holding it down, but it was giving pure exit strategy energy. Something about her head just looked wrong. Like even the hair was tired of the drama and wanted out. That thing was sliding back faster than rent dodgers on the first of the month. Every time I replayed the footage, I stopped listening to her words and just stared at that hairline trying to pack up and leave. Honestly, the whole episode could be titled The Dictator and the Receding Hairline. And you know what? It fits her perfectly. That look was giving late-night Instagram live meltdown vibes. Except this wasn't a bedroom rant. This was a public board meeting. And the chaos of that? Honestly iconic. But I gotta ask, was it a style or a slip? Press 1 if you think that hairline held the line. Press 2 if it was waving the white flag. Because me, I can't unsee it. And from now on, every time she talks, I'm just waiting for the wig to clock out. Anyway, on to the actual disaster. The board meeting itself was a masterclass in dysfunction. At one point, a speaker got up and said if anyone needed anything, they could just call him or Keith Freeman, apparently 24/7. Like there's a literal customer service hotline for the village of Dalton. Full press 0 for operator. Vibes. Then Tiffany jumps in, defending why staff should still be paid even when things weren't filed or processed right. And her big quote, "You must pay to stop." Girl, huh? That sounded like something printed on a gas station hoodie. She dropped it like scripture, and I'm just sitting there like, stop what? Reality? The thing is, her core point wasn't terrible. Workers showed up, they put in time, they deserve their check. Fine, but the way she declared it, like she was Moses coming down with the commandments, like her word was divine law. Ma'am, this isn't your mixtape drop. This is taxpayer money, not open mic night. Thankfully, one trustee wasn't having it. They clapped back and reminded everyone, hiring and firing has to go through the board. That's governance. That's checks and balances. Not Tiffany sending out major decisions through weekend emails like it's a brunch invite. And they were crystal clear. It wasn't about targeting staff. It was about protecting the process. Because without structure, what are we even doing? If trustees are chasing down info on Sundays just to get clarity, then leadership has already failed. And let's pause, because y'all saw the man sitting next to Tiffany, right? The way he was looking at her? Phew, that was, I'd risk it all energy. Full on baby. I know your Starbucks order devotion. He was locked in, eye contact steady, body language turned, smirk loaded, like he was waiting on her to whisper, "Meet me outside after this." That wasn't politics. That was emotional adultery unfolding in 4K. And you cannot fake that level of commitment. Back to the chaos. Another trustee jumped in with hard facts. This wasn't about stopping checks. It was about accuracy, transparency, and keeping Dalton from going bankrupt. They warned, if you approve things blindly just to avoid drama, you set the whole budget on fire. And when it burns, Tiffany won't be the one taking the blame. She'll be smiling for the cameras, preaching transparency, while the trustees hold the smoking bag. And honestly, that's exactly how she plays it. Because being on the board isn't about looking good. It's about safeguarding taxpayer money. It's about asking the hard questions, making the tough calls, and not running a village like it's a Cash App hustle. But Tiffany doesn't want structure. She wants sound bites. She wants to twist quotes, drop one-liners, and spin any disagreement as disrespect. Sorry, but no, this isn't Sunday service. Nobody's shouting amen just because she raised her voice. So let's recap. Wigs slipping, fake quotes, schoolyard crushes, and taxpayer money being handled like Snapchat streaks. Welcome to Dalton. This is the never-ending ride we're all stuck on. And just when you think it can't get messier, somebody finally speaks up with basic common sense. They said all this chaos could have been avoided if deadlines were met, rules followed. Simple. Staff worked hard, sure, but always being on call is not a long-term fix. The solution isn't burning people out. It's building a real system that functions during normal hours, so nobody's scrambling every weekend. But Tiffany couldn't leave it there. She jumped back in, bragging that at the board at questions, they could have just called her or Keith. Said her. Phone's always on, 24/7, day or night. And honestly, that's not a flex. It's a red flag. Constant late-night phone calls don't scream efficient. They scream messy. And tell me this, does Kamal even know about all these after-hours work calls? Because something about that setup doesn't feel strictly professional. But hey, I'll leave that one alone for now. Still, it's wild how someone who preaches transparency spends all their time locked in a private bubble with the same guy. And here's the twist. Kamal was supposed to be the one with the side situation. The gag? Sis is the side. And she doesn't even know it. Or maybe she does, and she'd just rather live the fantasy than face the reality. She hit the radio saying Kamal's been trying to get a divorce for 4 years. For years. Sis, if you're still trying after 4 years, you're not trying, you're chilling. That's not progress. That's procrastination. That's not a marriage. It's a train wreck in slow motion. And why Tiffany keeps tying herself to that man, that's the real mystery. Because she doesn't need him. Tiffany had the drive, the presence, the platform to stand solo. But instead, she's chasing a man who couldn't find integrity with a flashlight, a map, and Siri giving turn by turn. She thinks she found a diamond, but truth is, she was the diamond. Tiffany used to be the bag. Now, she is the bag, as in the paycheck. He's chasing money, and somehow she became the money. Then came her latest meltdown. She's accusing trustees of skipping meetings, not reading documents, ignoring the app. Every other sentence is, "It's on the app." Like the app is some holy scripture. Girl, if the app worked like you claim, we wouldn't be here. And then she does her favorite bit. Gives out her number like she's running a hotline. But when people call, all they get is silence, smoke, and recycle lines. Next, the land bank. Tiffany accused trustees of voting on things they didn't even understand. She waved around papers for that Buy Black housing program, the one with free houses and $5,000 homes. Swore she'd share it. Did she? Of course not. Classic Tiffany. Wave it, parade it, then vanish it. No receipts, no follow-up, just trust me, I'm the mayor. That's not leadership. That's monarchy cosplay. And the housing program? A straight-up trap. The $1 homes require $20,000 liquid cash. Dalton licensing, a 90-day repair permit, and inspections. Fail one, you lose your $1,000 escrow. Just like that. And it's a lottery. Investor pockets 75%, village gets 25%. Tiffany brags about how a private inspector saved her from bad floor joists. But let's not forget, this is the same woman who once rented out a black mold, rat-infested, sewage-leaking nightmare and had her people sign off as safe. So now she tells folks, go get your own inspector. Oh, really? Well, you already proved you'll use friends to rubber stamp toxic homes. Please, it's not about safety. It's about her holding the cards. And the $5,000 homes? Even worse. Live there 5 years, repair in 90 days, pass 2 inspections. But Tiffany controls the permits. And if Tiffany's known for one thing, it's delays. She creates the stall, watches you trip, then blames you for falling. That's not poor management. It's entrapment, and to the end of the day, Tiffany's game is always the same. Maximum spotlight, minimum responsibility. When it works, she's smiling in the photo. When it fails, it's someone else's fault. She wants every ribbon cut, every headline claimed, every ounce of credit, without doing the heavy lifting. She is the hero in every story she tells, even when the script says otherwise. And now, the hairline. Because yes, we need to talk. That hairline deserves its own census category. It's so far back, it looks like it's hiding from the scandals. What do we call it? No forehead left behind? Or maybe she should bring it back down to a respectful Eddie Winslow line, right over the brows. If you caught that reference, drop an Eddie W in the comments. It's giving 90s sitcom rerun energy. Anyway, y'all behave, because you know I won't. I'll keep clowning, keep pulling receipts, keep cutting through the spin. But just remember, Mama still loves you. Always.